Hello, I'm Jessica.
I'm Jeanette.
We are So Sweet Quilt Shop in Brunswick, Missouri, and today we're going to do a little quilty chat. So a little bit of quilting, a little bit of cross stitch, and we encourage you guys to do the same. So make a list. We each have 8 items, projects that we are working on.
Different stages.
Yeah, all different stages. From our sewing spaces, and then we're just sharing them with you to maybe keep you inspired or just let you know that we also have a lot of chaos happening.
And a lot of stuff in the room.
Yeah, a lot of stuff that we're working on. We are a quilt shop, so if anything we share, if we have the pattern or the book or the kit, we'll tell you that. And in the description below is a link to our Facebook page, and every Friday we do a live shopping on our Facebook page, and a lot of the things that you see here will be on that live shopping. And so then you can order through a message on Facebook, you can call the shop, or just drop it in the comments of the video. Anything else?
That's it. We do $7 flat rate shipping. If you spend more than $100, it is free shipping.
But today we're just showing you the things that we're working on.
You can certainly ask questions in the comments about anything we show, or you could purchase, but we don't really push sales today. It's about our chat. Okay, let's get started.
All right, you go first.
All right, so my first thing is I actually have a quilt finished. So last weekend, we did a retreat here at the shop that the quilt shop sponsored. And I always get to sew a little bit during that time. So last week I just showed blocks in a bag or in a container. Now it's together.
Yay. So this was a block of the month that we did here probably, I don't know, a year ago, maybe 2 years ago.
Oh, at least 6 to 9 months ago.
And Mom got it done. So it's called Among the Stars is the book.
We do have the book, and I'm going to kit it. So it will be available. Same colors as these, as far as the background is a little bitty white with a green dot, as you can kind of see. And then I'll kit it with the same sawtooth borders, what I'm calling it. I don't really know what you call it. But it is a big quilt. What does the book say? I don't remember. I can't even show it all here. But
here's the book. So it is,
whatever you want it to.
I don't know the size. I'm looking, but I'm not seeing.
Right there.
64 and a half by 84 and a half.
I know this thing is really long.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the book. It's got a spiral
it's
binding.
Together, and it was kind of challenging for me because it was during the retreat, and I sewed borders on backwards, and I did a lot of unsewing too.
But it's
so
done
it took me longer than most people probably would have taken.
Yes. Okay, so my first project is out of the Sunday Morning Quilts book, and the quilt is candy coated. I've shown it before. I have the top done, but I got the binding cut and
on a binding baby.
So that's progress, right? But I'll show you the quilt in case you haven't seen it.
Yeah, this is a little binding baby, I think, that we bought from Individual. See, she's got a cute little headband on, little painted headband. Anyway, what a cool quilt. Yes, so that's.
There's the quilt, and I did a flannel back.
And this will be the striped binding.
Yeah, and a striped binding.
That'd be pretty, and that's a good size quilt too.
Yeah, it's a good, couch.
I think we still have these books in the shop. Do we?
I don't know, but we could possibly get it back in.
So there it is, done in all pink. So you could do a controlled scrappy and kind of stick with a couple colors. And then that looks very Valentine.
Yeah, that one does for sure.
Okay, I got my binding sewn on my February table runner, just not hand sewn. So we're doing a year of runners.
Year of smalls.
Yeah, so some of them are table toppers, but we're really just targeting one book this year.
It's called Table-tastic 3, and I didn't bring it over, but a lot of you have the book.
Yes, and this is the February table runner, and this thing is long, like 56 maybe?
Yeah. So we do have this kit here in the shop, and yeah, you should get it.
So hopefully I will get the binding sewed on in the next evening. This really shouldn't take over an evening. But I find I want to cross stitch if I'm sitting in my chair.
Yes. Okay, so I'm going to show you a little cross stitch. I've been working on the lion and the lamb, And we do have the patterns here. And
More progress.
I've made a little bit more progress. A few more stitches.
Yeah, like it.
Yes.
Soft colors, and I love the gray background. And that's really kind of what they did there, was a gray.
And I got it in my cute little project deck.
Okay, I finished hand sewing my binding on my celebration quilt. So this one has been done for a while. The last time I showed it, oh my gosh, quilts everywhere. Last time I sewed it, the binding was just sewn on, but now it's all hand sewed. And this is a pretty good size quilt too. We do have the kits available. It is a Villa Rose pattern. And we kitted it in these Christmas prints.
Yeah. I think it, does it use
I
fat
love
quarters?
that green binding and then flannel back. Oh, that would be nice in the winter. Because this will probably go somewhere to somebody.
It'll be gifted, maybe.
It'll be gifted as a Christmas quilt. And I do have many Christmas quilts.
Right. Okay, so I'm going to show you the March runner because it is almost March. It just sneaks right up on us. And I have not started on it, but there's the I guess the table topper. So it finishes 39 square. And so it's in the Table-tastic book 3. So you have to have the book to do it. But this is the background. Got a little pink dot. Here's all your fun fabric.
Very springy. Got lots of green in it.
Cherries. Anyway, and then here's your binding. So I'd like to get that
Really
started.
And the piecing doesn't look hard. It looks like it's churn dash, but then they have little points on them. Okay, so that is our March small, and it would be $44.28 if you were to buy that one. Okay. Oh, my next exciting thing is I started to put together my log cabin blocks. And if you've been watching us for any time, I've been making a pile of log cabin blocks for probably 2 years. So these are done with those little papers. You can hear all the crinkling because the papers are still on there.
So they're like 6-inch paper packs, and you just sew right on the paper, and then you don't take the paper off until you're done with the top.
Yeah, I've been taking the paper off as I sew them together just on the 1/4-inch seam. But it's about halfway together.
Oh my goodness, I love it. Look at that.
That's
gorgeous. Yeah, so Mom did light and dark, you know, on either side, and then you could have put it on together however you wanted.
However you wanted. And if you get on Pinterest or Instagram, you know, there's lots of ideas how to put them together. This was your favorite, and of course it was one of my favorite, but I like several of the ways. It was a big decision. It's like, oh, I've worked on these for so long. I'm not sure how I want to put them together.
I love it.
But this
So are you done then?
I'm done with all the blocks, but this is only half of the blocks.
Oh, that thing's gonna be huge.
Well, it's a little bit, I guess, I think there's 10 rows and I have 8 more rows, so it's a little less than half. But yeah, this, remember I finished, no, I did the math. It was 168 blocks.
Did you do the math right? Because that thing's gonna be ginormous.
Well, it is going to
It's
be,
like right now, it's like a lap size.
it's going to be 72 by 84.
Oh. So it'll be about the same size as this one that you made. How
Well, I just never even made a dent in those scraps, so I'm like, I'll just go bigger. Just make it bigger. But now, 72 by 84.
Do you still feel like you made a dent?
No.
We have gone bigger.
No, but we have other papers here. So there's one that's called Courthouse Steps.
Yeah.
And I think when I get this one all together, then I will maybe start on that one, because, you know, it'll be 2 years making them.
So I said
love
last
this
time
bag.
I was couldn't find my other project bag, so I actually got online and ordered some bags.
I like that.
This is Quilting with Nico. And I just buy them on Etsy.
Those are butterflies, aren't they?
Yes, they are. They're modern butterflies,
Nice.
is what it said on the description. Anyway, I've been working on I got a few
Get any little stitches done on the chickie?
I did, just tiny little bits.
But you got it all grafted, and that takes a little time too.
Yes, and I had it graphed last time. I showed it, and then when I sat down to do it, I was off by 1 square in the middle. So I ironed it. I'd use a friction band, so I ironed it all off and started over. Because, you know, if your one square is a 9, they're supposed to be 10.
Make your whole thing up.
Whoa, it'll be a disaster. So anyway, I redid it, but I just got one little
That's
part
neat
done.
how the chicken looks like they have little crosses in them. Or the big mama chicken. That's really cute.
Yes. So anyway.
That's fun. Oh, my cross stitch. So next for me, I'm going to show progress on my cross stitch. So this is out of the book, A Heart Remembers. And I'm doing the one on the back, kind of a basket or a bouquet or whatever you call it. I guess a basket of berries. So I haven't cross stitched as much because I had a retreat going on all weekend, but isn't it cute? This little thing will finish about 9 by 9, so not real big.
Cute.
And I'm kind of into the smalls because I'd like to have one big thing going on, but then several small ones.
Have some progress. Get it done.
Little basket's been kind of tricky with the zigzaggy counting.
Yeah.
I think it's so cute.
Okay, so I dug up an oldie that I
Oldie but a
would like
goodie.
to finish. Is the chickens. We do have the pattern here, I believe. If not, we could get it back in.
I think we still have this one too.
And I've got a few little chicks done. So aren't they cute? They're very, you know,
whimsical.
Whimsical, yes.
Not true chickens. Not florally.
No, they're not like real chickens.
No, but they're so cute. I like them.
Very cute.
And we have one of our employees that actually put this together, finished. And Jessica's doing the medium size, I think, 54 by 60. Yeah, that'd be really cute. They have a small one and a large one here, so you can just pick and choose.
Yep.
I like how some of the chickens are standing, some of them are sitting on a nest.
Yeah.
It's really cute.
Yeah, that's cute.
Okay, so this progress is just a little bit. I got the binding cut. I don't even have it on a binding, baby. Just the strips are cut.
Yeah, well, that's progress.
So this is for the, it's called Pumpkin Pie Quilt. And there's no pies or no pumpkins on it. But this is just a real fast sew.
I believe we still have some kits of this left.
You guys recut them, yeah. So look how simple that is. And it's a nice lap size. I want to say it's 54 by 62 or 64.
Yeah.
And I have an aunt that I'd like to get this to. And it's just got a really pretty fun flannel backing. So it'll be a great recliner quilt.
Yes.
So the binding has been cut. Let's hope I get that sewed on by next week. I can at least show you that it's machine sewed on.
Yes.
Even if the hand sewing's not done yet.
Right. Okay, so I like to have a leader and ender project going on all the time. And so the hourglass quilt, which mine's looking a little rough.
A little ratty.
It ends up getting spray on it. Best press. But anyway, I
stack.
Yeah, I have a lot of them done. I haven't counted yet because I know I need a lot more. But you're just cutting 5-inch squares and then you sew them, and then when you cut them apart, you end up with 2. Like so. So
yes, perfect.
Yeah, I mean, when you're done, you'll just sew them all together.
Yeah, there's no sashing or anything. And this pattern is a free pattern that you can get on her website, which is, what is the website?
Is it Cluck Cluck Sew?
It is, Cluck Cluck Sew.
Yep. I like her pattern.
And she's done a lot of the math for you as far as how many blocks you need by.
Yeah, she even has on here,
you can make them different sizes.
yeah, your quilt sizes, and then how many you're gonna need, which I haven't done any of that. But then she says, like, if you wanna cut 2-inch squares, what finished, or 4-inch squares, what the finished block size will be, all the way up to a 10-inch square.
So if you have a stack of squares that you've been cutting up out of your scraps.
Yeah, so if you did 10-inch squares would end up 8.5-inch blocks, so you wouldn't need nearly as many of those.
Probably won't need 480.
No, and I did 5-inch,
So yours are just spending probably 4-inch if they're finishing out.
3.5.
Oh, even smaller.
And that's just because I already cut 5-inch squares out of all my scraps, so I have a big pile of those.
All right, I didn't bring the pattern over. This is the Sunny Kisses that we're starting as a block of the month in April.
I wonder where that's at.
I think it's right up front on the register. Anyway, I brought this to my retreat and in a pretty bag, and here it still is. So I've got the first month done, And we are doing it row by row. So the first month you're doing the flag row at the very top.
I think we showed it last week, so if you go back.
Well, it's hanging on the design wall over there. I'm not taking it off. So the first row is done. I'm starting at the top. The second row is the strawberries, and I was hoping to work on it during my retreat, and I just never got there.
And it starts in April.
In April.
And we ship 3 months at a time. So your first month.
On shipping.
Yeah.
The shipping is getting quite ridiculous now. But it's got its own container now.
It's ready.
It's ready. The little paper plates are, I like to cut one small project at a time. So like one strawberry will be in one, and on until you get one done at a time. Because the strawberries look to be maybe 6 inches. And that's going to be all their little tiny leaves at the top of them too. So anyway, it's going to take some time.
Yes. Okay, so I bought 2 little cross stitch project
that was
bags.
cute too.
Isn't that cute? With the, those are pears maybe?
Pears or apples, I can't tell. They could be green apples.
So I can have 3 cross stitch projects.
I can have several.
Is my
More.
limit. But I took this home because I think this is cute.
I think this is cute too. That always makes me think of Joni. Joni's my niece.
Yeah, if you don't know who that is. And yeah, so I got my floss all picked out, and then I'm going to use this vintage smoky white at 25 count.
Lugano. Well, you can't graph that.
I won't be able to graph it, so we'll see how it goes. I may give up. If I can't graph it, I may move on. Do something
But how
else.
pretty that would be. And then you can put the year. It's got the year up at the top, and you can put your initial or any initial you want.
So 25 count, is it just over 1?
Over 2 is what I would do.
Do over, so 2 over 2? Or 1 over 2?
You could do 1 over 1, but it's tiny, and it would make this project really small when all said and done. If you're going 2 threads over 2 squares, then you're going to turn it into basically even bigger than a 14 count. Because it'd be 28 count, you'd be turning it into a 14 count.
So 1 over 1. You wouldn't do
tiny.
2 over 1.
No, you couldn't get it through there.
All right, so 1 over 1 or 2 over 2.
That's what I would do. This stitch count is 116 by 138, so it finishes 7 1/4 by 8 1/2, and that's on 32 counts. So on 32 count, you know, they're going over 2. And really anything you get over, I think 25 is hard to go into 1 because it's so tiny.
Okay, well, we'll see.
We'll see how that goes. All right, so we're talking about things that we'd like to work on. I've taken this kit home quite some time ago, and it's sitting on my cutting table, and I picked it up this morning and said, Jeanette, you really ought to do something with that.
That's cute.
Isn't that pretty?
So we do have kits here.
We
in
do
the
have
shop.
kits. This is a Riley Blake line. I can't even think what the name of it is.
Maple.
Maple.
Yeah, we have a fat quarter pack that we've
I mean,
shown.
look how pretty the colors are. So
It's
this
gorgeous.
forest fungi with the leaves and the mushrooms would be perfect for this.
Yeah, for sure.
Then, look at the great, this is Essex linen in this, I call it a true kind of linen color. It's got a little bit of a taupe to it, but that'll be all the background you see on there. And there's a lot of background. So, of course, the pattern has got lots of little pieces, and I told myself, you just need to cut out like 1 leaf.
Just get started.
Just get started.
Yeah. Okay, so I dug out an oldie too, which I know we do have these kits in the shop. Farmyard Fun, so it's just a little Villa Rose pattern, but I could have Jen Kingwell fabrics.
Well, why not?
I don't have any Jen Kingwell projects going on right now, so I should get this started.
You should.
But it would be a quick sew because Villa Roses are very
Typically
quick.
very fast sews.
So it's just uses fat quarters, and then some of my favorites. I even mixed in some lollies in there.
Yes. If you don't know what a lolly is, you're getting 8 prints into 1 piece of fabric. So whether you buy half a yard or a yard, you're getting 8 different prints.
Yeah.
It is
So
correct.
anyway.
Is it 8 or 6? It is 8, I think. Just go with me. It's 8.
I'm pretty sure it's a, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so anyway, okay, I think that's everything. Is that,
I think we went through everything, but we do want to talk about
We got Happy Mail.
We got Happy Mail. It's our first Happy Mail.
Yeah, we've gotten cards, which are always happy.
And thank yous
And thank yous.
comments.
And people come in and
But people don't send us gifts.
I know when we got this, we were both like,
We got
Oh
this in the
my-
mail.
oh, don't show their address.
I'm not. I just quickly said in the mail. And then we got this beautiful little card. Isn't that pretty? And a lovely note inside. And then, of course, I had to unwrap it. But, I mean, these were wrapped with ribbon and scallop tissue paper.
And I believe she has a store, maybe, because she has a little label on there.
Rose Heart Designs.
Rose Heart Designs. So you could look her up. Maybe she's on Etsy. Maybe she sells these.
I think she does. But we was going to look. I'm sorry, Rose Heart Designs. We didn't look. We will link her at the bottom of our video.
If we can find it.
Well, at least put Rose Heart Designs.
Yeah.
Because I think on her address label is going to be a little more info. Anyway, this is one of the bags. And you talk about a nice project bag. You can see. Yeah. Hold a nice big one.
Yeah.
Love the quilty words.
A quilt project or cross stitch.
To quilt is to live. And I can't decide which one I want because she said we could. She made each of us one. Not just one bag, two bags.
Know.
And they're a lot of
You
work.
would fight over one.
Look how cute the handles are. Now, and look at this cute one.
Yes, very cute.
I love them. Any day spent quilting is a good day. Yay, yay. Anyway, we greatly appreciate it, and that was so nice and kind.
It was, yeah, really thoughtful. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, well, we'll see you Friday on Facebook, so make sure you check that out.
For live shopping.
Yep. Goodbye.
Have a good day.